What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. You know, it is Freedom Friday. And on Freedom Friday, we cut up. On Freedom Friday, we give out specials. And on Freedom Friday, we're going to get into it. So, what are we getting into today on Freedom Friday? Freedom Friday today, we're talking about how financial Facebook groups hurt you. Now, do they help? Of course. But a lot of times they hurt you. And I'm going to break out why they're hurting you. Because a lot of times people are like, Erica, no. You said you're in Facebook groups talking with people, chatting with people about their financial position. Yes, I do. But this is how I know they hurt you. Today, I got kicked out of a discussion today. I'm surprised I didn't get kicked out of the group. Because guess what? A woman comes on and gives you half the story. Now, let me give you the 1 through 3, okay? Why Facebook financial groups help you. 1, they give out information that doesn't apply to everybody. Okay? 2, the people on the Facebook groups are not giving you the whole story. And then as it goes through, then they give you more of the story. And you go, well, girl, that ain't going to work for you. No way. Number 3, if you're learning it for certain tricks, 2-3 years later, you're going to be in a different Facebook group trying to get your life straight. Okay? Now let's get into it. All right. Number 1, sometimes the information you go on some of these groups is wonderful. They're doing a great job. They're trying. Some of them have been on financial groups. Some of them credit repair groups. Some of them are like how to buy a house groups. And if you're talking about buying a home, investing in stocks, investing in 401ks, teaching people educational things, I'm all about it. But here's the effery, right? Here's the real deal. Many people go in these groups looking for a way to do some quick tricks to clean their credit up so they can buy cars. And why do I say cars? Because a lot of people, when they don't know education-wise what are assets and what are investments, that's all they know is buying cars. And people like, Erica, that's crazy. Today, had a woman, and listen, if the groups are talking about buying homes, investing in groups, that's why I'm talking about Todd Capital and some of these groups. That's why I slide myself away from people and go to very exclusive group meets and very exclusive groups and very exclusive masterminds. Not just because I'm elitist. And elitist, let me be careful with that, because elitist means, if we're truthful, elitist means when I think things should be run by the elite. And that's not true. That's the one dictionary. Urban Dictionary, which is slang. Urban Dictionary is, people trying to be posh, people trying to elevate themselves away from poor people, people being rude. And I'm not neither one of those. I'm not being rude to poor people. I'm not being rude to anybody. Do I exclude myself from certain situations? Of course. That's what smart people do. They put themselves in safe, great networking positions. That's what they do. Now, this country's run by a certain group of elites anyway. Now, when you go in certain neighborhoods and you see that all the houses are rentals, everybody besides your grandma is renting their house, but who owns the rentals? Do people that look like you own the rentals, or do people that look like somebody else own the rentals? Right? So you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep it 100. Do people who look like you own the rentals, or people that don't look like you own the rentals? Because let me give you an example. When it went to hurricane, a hurricane happened in Alabama. We're going to get back on the groups, I promise. But it's Freedom Friday. I do what I want. When we went to Alabama, and for the tornado help, and this was a couple years ago, there was a place called Pell City. You can look this up. Pell City. 98% black. Devastation. I mean, you see areas where it's just nothing. Now, guess what? Erica's family, we had somebody own some rentals down there. Let's just keep it real. And we had a family member that owned a house down there. She's very elderly, so we went to go check on her, get it together. I was down there with the Red Cross. My mom was down there helping a military unit get back right. And guess what? It was all these white people driving old Lincolns and Cadillacs and SUVs driving around. I said, man, are they looking to help people? Are they trying to help with the tornado cleanup? What are they over here for? They're doing a lot of driving by here. What's happening? Guess what? 98% black over there, 80% rentals. And who were the people who were renting those houses? Go back to the history of Pell City. It used to be white suburbs when there was white flight out of Birmingham, Alabama. So all those areas, all those houses over there were owned by white people. Except for a few, like my cousin owned a couple, some of my family owned a couple. They were owned by white people. So those people weren't coming to help. They weren't coming to give water. They weren't coming to care. They were just driving around to see where their house used to be. And it was devastated and it was gone. So they were just taking pictures for their insurance company. So let's not get it twisted. Home ownership has power. Owning things has power, okay? So that's why I'm very keen on, I love being in groups if they're talking about home ownership, because the people that got displaced out of the hurricane, they didn't even own where they stayed. So the insurance company could only give them a certain amount of money. But if they didn't even have renter's insurance, guess what? Alabama didn't care. Alabama didn't care. I was there, and they would put trucks. And I'm going to be honest, I was on the Hoover side of town. Hoover, Alabama. Look it up. Vestavia. Sorry about that. We got kicked back off. Sorry about that. We got kicked off. We right back on. We right back on it. All right. Back to it. I'm talking about Hoover, Alabama, Vestavia, Alabama. Go check these places out. Glenn Cameron can tell you about Vestavia and Hoover, and these places are very where the money has moved to in Alabama, if that makes sense to you, all right? So I was over on that side of town. Look, and they would go to Sam's Club, and I'm not even joking you, and they put out semi-trucks with the back open, and they're like, please donate to the other side of town that was absolutely devastated. And people would come out of Sam's Club and they'd throw some water, they'd throw some items, but they didn't really care because that didn't affect them. That was affecting the other side of town that didn't affect them. The tornado didn't hit them, so they didn't care. Straight up. Now, they started to care when all the apartment complexes over there started getting full with the people that used to live over there, but then now they cared. Oh, hold up. Y'all coming over here now? Okay, now we care. Let's hear them get Pale City rebuilt. Let's get it rebuilt. Okay? So keep that in mind. Owners got money off that tornado. When they tore down that old house they done had that's been paid off for probably 40 years, because a lot of those houses were from 1960s and 1970s and 1980s. So you know the house was already paid off. And then people are renting. Okay? So they got a check for a house they weren't even living in that's been paid off. So you already know. Right? Okay? So you know they got paid, and a lot of those spots in Bell City never got rebuilt. A lot of them, there's a lot of empty lots where you just see a slab. That's why the housing in Birmingham went up. Birmingham, Alabama, all the housing around, the rentals around there went up because those people had to move. They had to have somewhere to live. You can't just displace a whole city, like a little tiny city, and they have nowhere to live, okay? So keep that in mind. I'm always for home ownership. I know Grant Cardone and some of these people think it's cool to tell you not to own a home, but everybody I know that's retired in their 80s and they're old and they're black and Latino, they own their home. They may not get a big pension, but they own their home, okay? Because that's where the power is. All right, so flip it. Back to the financial groups. The information I saw in one credit repair group is like, here's the handbook. Follow the handbook, you can do it. All right. Another key some of these financial credit repair groups are doing on Facebook, they gave out the secret loophole. Okay. If you know anything about Navy Federal was very, very friendly, still is very friendly. I recommend it to every client I have with financial loans. They're very friendly. Very friendly. They give out big $20,000, $24,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 lines on the business side, $25,000 easy on the personal. Now, once that got into the groups, everybody's like, I need a Navy Federal account. I need a Navy Federal account. Okay, well, first off, to be a Navy Federal account, you need to have a military family member. Do you have a military family member? No. Can somebody just let me in? Can someone give me their number? So that was running rampant. Okay, there was another loophole where you could go join Navy League, and it was off in San Diego, off in California. Whoever's from California in the comments, can you please help me? In California, there's a Navy League. Wherever the Navy is up North California, can someone tell me where that is in Northern California? Wherever the Navy is in Northern California, can someone help me out? If you know that, please just put it in the comments so I can figure out what city I'm talking about. So I don't want to be off. But there's a thing called Navy League, and it was in Northern California. And if you signed up with them and paid $25 with the Navy League, of course, they want to give you this electronic newsletter, but it also gave you access to Navy Federal Credit Union. Well, all the cool little Facebook groups shared this information, and that place became overwhelmed. Now, this has been a loophole for like 10 years. But once they put it on Facebook, they shut it down in 4 months. You could no longer join Navy League in California and get access that way. You could no longer do that. So that was one of the ways it was damaging and hurtful for future people who really wanted to go a part of Navy Federal Credit Union, okay? Also, the groups, if you've been in a couple of them, it started to become about, look how big these credit card lines I'm getting from Navy Federal. Look how big all this stuff is. When originally a lot of these groups are started to, how do we get rid of debt? How do we, thank you so much, Black Knight Coding. Thank you. There's a Navy League in Sacramento, California. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's what I needed. So what happened is now they're using tricks and techniques and destroying a great method when all you had to do was shut your mouth about it, right? You leaked it out, and Navy League gained 700,000 people in 4 months. That's how many people thought they were going to jump in and trick on this loophole, okay? 700,000 people. So Navy Federal all of a sudden was like, okay, now we got to start doing all this fraud investigation, because a lot of people are opening up accounts and that's fraud, okay? It's just straight up fraud. And so I was like, dang, y'all are ruining a good thing. But another thing that started happening is not only did people start getting these competition to get all these credit cards, which is opposite of getting rid of debt, they started getting cars. So now people are like, look at this car I got from Caravan. I got a brand new car. I'm still living in a raggedy, ran down apartment, but I got a brand new car and I got credit cards. And you go, what's your plan? What's your mission? Now there started to be pushback in the groups when people would ask, what do you plan on doing with all those credit cards? Why'd you get a new car? People are like, why are you questioning me? I deserve a new car. Don't be questioning me. You be like, whoa, I thought the group was about getting your credit cleaned up, getting debt down so that you could buy a home. So already these groups are already going off the rails, because what people do is they get the case of the Jones. Look at what they got over there. Look at what they got over there. When really these groups are starting to help you get a home. Help you fight the system that is systematically, for some people, messing you up. Because I haven't noticed this, but a lot of older seasoned credit repair guys that I've been in masterminds with, they're white. They have said, Erica, I've done credit repair for Asian people, black people, and white people. Depending on your zip code, where you're living, and in certain factors, I've repaired 3 people's credit that are all the same, but they lived on different sides of town. So all of a sudden, the guy living on this side of town got credit offers. This person didn't. Okay, same thing with me. I moved to a different side of town and I got all kind of credit offers. I got credit offers throwing through my mailbox like crazy. Now, where did I live before? I lived on a side of town that was being regentrified. I didn't get an offer all year long. All of a sudden I move over here and my mailbox is just coughing credit card offers. Why is that? Why is that? My business mailbox is getting just nonstop American Express offers. Why is that? Because some of your location and where you live do play into these factors. Don't get it twisted. So clean credit is important. You know, the point was home ownership, but a lot of people, you know, kind of already, you can see where they got off track in these groups. So that's how one way it was hurting people. Number 2, people not giving the full information. And this one, it got me kicked off a group today. Now I look back, I'm back in the group. So whoever added me, I appreciate that. But the thing is, I'm not going to hold your hand and kiss your butt and pretend to be your mom and pat you on the back. That's not my job. That's not my job. That's no one's in society's job to be your parent. Now, first of all, your education comes from your parents. That's where most people learn. That's where most people will continue to learn. And that's where you get your financial education. If your parents did a bad job too, there's no problem with you coming in these groups and learning. Let's keep that word in there, learning. That means don't open your mouth. Don't put up messages that you don't understand something. When there's workbooks, there's opportunities, and there's people in the group, you can just go back and read the same questions over and over. But what people want is an answer for them. Give me an answer for my situation, Erica. I'm a unicorn. I'm a snowflake. I'm special. No, you're not. No, you're not. Let's stop it. So this is what happened today, and this is what got me kicked out. But I'm back in. A young lady said, oh my God, my car, if I make regular payments, its value's only $8,000, but it'll be $32,000 I end up paying. So immediately everybody's like, oh my God, you poor thing. Why would you pay $32,000 in payments if your car's only worth $8,000? Now let's keep it back to what I first said the first time, which I know I've been a little long-winded, but if your only value and only asset in your life is your car because you don't own a home and you don't have assets, your value is wrapped up in a car. Like, I gotta have a new car. I gotta have a BMW. I gotta have an Audi. because that's all I have of worth and value is a car. Okay, keep that in mind. So this young lady, once you started digging, and people do this often, they give you half the story. They don't tell you the whole story, what's really going on with them, what was really happening, wink, wink. So once you got into it, we said, okay, something doesn't sound right here. Sounds like you either kept rolling a car over or you got a bad interest rate. Now, which one is it? Oh, okay, this is what really happened. My husband, he went to jail, and they towed his car away. And when they towed his car away, they wouldn't let me get it back. So I had to do what I had to do. That is the key. See, that's the part of the story you didn't tell us, that your husband was doing something illegal and then got his car towed, and then the car stayed locked up. So then now you had to go get a car loan from a shady place. Like, see, that's an important part of the story that you didn't give us, okay? Right? You can't not give us half the story. So then she goes, I got a 20% interest car loan. 20% interest car loan. Let's say it again. 20% interest. Not 10%, not 11, not 15, 20% interest. Now immediately in the group, everybody goes, man, that sounds like drive time. That sounds like, they named all these subprime car loan people. Now, whenever I hear somebody tell me they did what they had to do, you know what my response is? Do what you have to do. Which means you're going to have to work and pay it off. Now, I gave her the answer. I said, listen, I'm sorry about your situation. Sorry about your husband. But it doesn't matter what the car is worth. Drive the car for 15 years. It doesn't matter what it's worth. Drive the car till the wheels fall off. Never get another car loan because you can't afford one. Now, she's like, well, but I'm paying $400 a month for my car. Okay, you paying $400 a month for your car, but if you make $400 payments for the term of the loan, you're going to pay $32,000. What you should do is make principal payments on the top of it. Now, immediately when I said, everybody, listen, hey, she needs to make this regular payment and make an additional $300 payment on top of it, people like, Erica, people gotta live. People gotta live their life. You're wrong. How dare you tell this woman to make extra payments and write in the memo, principal balance only, to the principal balance only, to get it paid off faster. People thought that was ludicrous. How can we find $300? What do you mean? $300? You go work this weekend. You go get a second job. I'm sorry about your husband being locked up. That's really not my problem. That's not my problem. Do you know what I'm saying? That part of that equation, if you to put it out in the beginning instead of hiding it because you didn't want people to judge you, because people love that. Don't judge me. Don't you judge me. Kind of thing. If you'd have put that information out in the beginning, we could have helped you better. But now you got 150 comments going of people trying to figure out your situation, and people love doing that. They love giving you the nice part. Because see, probably what has happened with this young lady is she's been counseled already. There's probably been 20 family members go, you did not need to do that. You did not need to do this. You did not need to get the most expensive car if you were going to get a 20% interest rate. You did not need to, she's probably been told that already. And so in the groups they go, Erica, we don't want people judging people in these groups. These groups are to help each other, and they're to help people feel like they can make it. Are you kidding me? They already have pity parties with their girlfriends. They got pity parties with their sisters and brothers. They got pity parties with their mama. I'm not here to be your mama and daddy and say, you know what, it's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. You made a bad decision and it's not your fault. That's what's happening with the student loan debt. People were buying vacations and buying books and buying cars. Listen, I bought a car with one of my students. Listen, I'll give y'all 100. Y'all see me, you're like, Erica's black. But there's some extra in this DNA, okay? And my mom was in the military. So according to my state, I was allowed to get certain type of loan, like grants and certain type of full ride scholarship stuff, right? So I'll just say when I got 10 grand back during the school year. No money, no loan. And then I'd get $3,000 in the summer. It was beautiful. Beautiful. Now, what did I do? One year I bought a Mitsubishi. One year I traveled some. I bought some clothes. I did all kind of silly stuff. I put $4,000 into penny stocks and lost it. And my teacher was like, wait, we taught y'all how to do stock market, not penny stocks, okay? Get it right. Get your stuff together here. But lesson learned, okay? Lesson learned. Lost some money. Listen, made $6,000, lost $4,000. I feel like, hey, still walked away okay. But that's the key. These people are in these groups looking for people to give them a hug. And that's not what you're here for. You're here to learn. If you in this group and you putting your statement out, stand by your statement. Stand by the correction you need to get. It's the same thing, and I'm going to be careful here, but I'm going to say it. It's the same thing when sometimes you see women in single parenthood. Okay, well, you made a mistake. That's okay. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to help you get this straight. Don't do it again. She pop up with another kid. It is time to lay the hammer down and say, you know better. You know how expensive this is. You have to be responsible, right? So it takes two to tango. I'm not like some people's channels. Oh, don't blame the victim. No, it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. So look, at the end of the day, getting back on it, people are going in the groups with the wrong mindset. Is just try to get some credit cards, just try to get some cars, and stunt on us. I'm stunting on you with my car. But I tell you right now, when I delivered pizza for like a year and a half in Austin, Texas, what's very funny is I drove, it was weird. We had this poor area over here that was being gentrified, and then we had this millionaire area, and somehow we split it with another Papa John's. It was weird. And so I drop off pizza at $1 Million Homes, and the kids are just like, here's $8,000. I mean, here's $8. Have a great day. And older ladies like, here's $8, here's $10. So I'd walk away with $100 every night delivering pizzas. It was crazy. But guess what I saw? When I went to the big homes, when I went to the big, giant, big $1 Million homes, there was, guess what out there? Old Toyotas, old Camrys, old, old Hondas. You know, I'm talking about 1999, 2000. Everywhere. Every single place. You want to see these eyes? You want to see these eyes shine white? There they are. I mean, everybody hates my shades, but I love them. So, so what ended up happening is I would go to the ran down apartment complex that was bought out by a company in California and completely being regentrified, being completely remodeled from the whole daggone thing. And people were mad because they were going to have to move and they weren't going to get that $400 no more, that $500 rent, that $600 rent anymore. So what ended up happening is I'd drive in that complex and it was parking lot full of BMWs, Audis, Mercedes Benz, you name it. But you living in a ran down, and this is the grades of apartments, A, B, and C. It was like a C apartment. It was like roaches and holes in the walls. You know what I mean? It was kind of craziness. And it was like, they would be like, here's $2. Here's $1 tip. And you'd be like, listen, if you're gonna stunt with the BMW and the Mercedes and you can only tip $1 and you living in a C-class apartment that was built in the 1980s and the stairs are wobbly, like, what you doing? What are you doing? Like, that is not the business. Okay? So if that makes sense to y'all, that's why I think these groups are hurtful. They're hurtful. Because you're getting the information, but you are not up here ready for the information. Does that make sense? If you're not in the right zone for the information, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to be in a bigger debt hole. And a few years from now, guess what you're going to do? You're going to jump in another group. Like, I'm going to be careful. Let me be careful. Certain groups that are talking about budgets and certain groups that are doing like a Dave Ramsey-like activity. I don't want to name any groups because I know somebody can be like, oh, Erica said y'all suck. But I don't know. So... but they are there, and this is a part of my system of marketing. So let me just stand that clear. I go in several of these groups and I answer people's questions because I know they'll come back to the YouTube channel or they come back and spend money with me. So this is a part of the marketing. So I know what I'm signing up for when I go in there. But the key is, do you want to be free or do you want to like be in deeper debt and then 2-3 years later figure it out? Because this is what I'm seeing. I'm going to be really honest. That's why these Facebook groups are hurtful. But they're helpful. Like, the internet helps everybody now. I just did a video on my credit repair channel about how these people, a lot more people have 700 credit scores. And they don't know why. All of a sudden, they're like, this is the past 2-3 years. Everybody's got 700 credit scores. Well, it's because people have these groups and they're sharing the information. And now people at least know, okay, I need 3-6 lines of positive reporting credit. Cool. Now I can pay somebody to clean my credit off. Cool. Now I can go do the next thing. So these people are getting better credit, but they don't know what to do, right? They don't know what to do. If you just look up my name, Erica Williams, you'll find my other channels. I have like 3 other channels I'm building, but I'll link them. Like in one of my videos, I just linked it, but I'll just put a little link dot up top when this renders, when it's done. But here's the problem. It's like, this is what I'm seeing, and I'm being really honest. I'm gonna be honest and hurtful. I'm seeing a lot of my white and Asian friends And our parents, my mom makes more money than some of their parents, being 25 to 30, buying their first townhome, getting $1,000 from mom or dad to get into the home, just like to get their foot in the door. And their mortgage is like $300. Like $300. And you're out here with an apartment costing you $1,200, costing you all your check. And now when you look at Susie over there and you look at Becky over there, 5 years down the road, their car's paid off, their student loans are paid off, and you don't understand how you 30 and you still in a hole, and you ain't made no dent in your car loan, and you ain't made no dent in your student loans. I'm trying to tell you, this is the game. The game is, that's how they got in. It's home ownership. It's home ownership. And listen, there's you can go look them up. Jay Morrison, some other people will tell you the same thing my banker told me. A lot of Black and Latino people will get a really expensive car, so their loans and their car and their DTI is messed up. So by the time you want to get your house, the information, your numbers are messed up. It's backwards. It's backwards. Anybody who's bought a house can tell you. If anybody in the comments can share it, I appreciate it. But if you buy your house, all of a sudden the next 3 months, guess what's going to be in your mailbox? Offers, statements, rent-a-center, car dealerships. They're going to send you because it shows you are qualified. If you are qualified enough to get a house, there's some money there. I mean, I can tell you right now, the inner workings of marketing, internet, and actual business-to-business marketing, and I can go buy data information on people on the internet right now. I can go buy data about who just bought a house in 90 days ago. I can go buy that data. Just like I can buy the data that you left your house or your house is vacant or you're an absentee owner, I can buy the data that you just bought a house 90 days ago. So what am I going to do? So anyway, YouTube doesn't want me to be great today. It don't want me to be great today. It keeps restarting. But here's the thing. Okay, so we did that. We talked about that. The key here is I'm going to read through these comments. I'm gonna brace myself because y'all be cracking me up. I'm bracing myself. But the thing of it is, don't go in these Facebook groups looking for a quick microwave answer to your problem. When you're truthful, if you learn about assets, you'll be in such better position. I'm telling y'all, there is a friend here in Austin. He only owns 2 other houses, and he has a nice house over here in Pflugerville, and he's just chilling. He does not have a full-time job. He don't have no job, man. He like Tommy. He always hanging out. He downtown in Austin chilling. He at Barton Springs in the water. And people are like, man, how your friend out like that every day? Lots of people are out doing that because they bought 1 or 2 homes and they kept their expenses low. I could give y'all so many stories of people. If they would come on my channel, it would be super fun, but they won't. And so here's the deal. One of my friends is in North Carolina, bought a townhome, like a 3-story, like one first level, second level, third level, for $55,000 right out of East Carolina University. And he was a substitute teacher, y'all. He wasn't even a full-time teacher, but he was also in National Guard. So what did he do? He got that VA loan opportunity. So anyway, he got in there, no money down. His mortgage is like $320. He's substitute teaching. He's every once in a while weekend warrior where they don't pay you a lot, get like $1,000 or so. And people look at him 5 years later, they're like, man, how you going on all these vacations? How you living so nice? He's like, man, I've been paid everything off. Paid off my student loan, paid off everything. He's like, I barely made $2-3 grand a month and I just knocked it out. And then when he got married, his wife was a teacher. She owned her own townhouse. Guess what they did? Moved to a new house and rent both those townhouses out. Come on, man. Come on now. Come on. I mean, do you want to win or do you want to live in a nice $1,600 apartments? So you know what I mean. So here we go. I'm gonna go back up and I'm gonna read these comments. But the key here is I love the Facebook groups. I love the technology. It's very helpful, but it's hurting a lot of you because you won't do the other stuff in the right order. You won't do it in the right order. And on top of that, let me keep it this way. Some of you are calling me like, I need my credit fixed right now. If you actually just increase the income, most of 80% of y'all problems would be a wrap. 80% of them will be a wrap with the extra income. Now, if you take that extra income you make and just actually start investing in it, boom, 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 boom. Look, we got Todd Capital in here somewhere. So, I mean, ask him some questions too, but you know what I'm saying? All right. Hey, Little Miss, Black King, Radiance Music, Chris Lee TV, Little Miss, people should be happy to get advice from you in the group. You know, I say that, but then they just put me out sometime and they like, Erica, you hush. What's up, Charles Ogilvy? Owners win all day. All day, y'all. The house I told you 3 years ago, my friend was like, Erica, let's just go in half and get this house. And you can live here. And I was like, I don't know about this house. It's far out on the edge. It's $135,000. That same house, I drove by it. It's been 3 years here and it's not even in Austin. It's in the suburbs. It's $285,000, y'all. Do you know I'm upset about that? You know your girl is upset because I could have been refinancing that house and buying whatever I wanted. You know, lesson learned, my bad. But again, a lot of people, I did a video about FDA, USDA housing, and y'all slept on it, and that's okay, but I'm gonna keep bringing it up. A lot of your friends are going all the way out. USDA housing, no money down, super easy loan, and then a year later keep moving back in. That's what my friend here in Austin is doing. He bought a house out there in Round Rock before, when Round Rock was still on the USDA loan. Now it's a little bit not. Moved in, got a house closer to Austin, then finally moved into the next house. So these two houses are renting out for big dollars. $1,800, $1,900 a month, $2,000 a month. I think one's $1,900 and the other one's $2,000. And his mortgage is like $700, yo. His mortgage and tax is like $700, and it's renting out for $1,900, yo. So who's winning here? Do you see what I'm saying? He's straight chilling, okay? And he has families in there, so families that ain't going nowhere because they can't, because Austin's expensive. So they like, we'll keep re-ing up on this lease. I told y'all yesterday or 2 days ago about my cousin who he tried to give or one of our family members his house at 23, and he was like, no, I don't want that house, man. I don't want it. It's $35,000. I don't want it. The tenant that's been in it since he had it, they've been in there 10 years paying him rent. They moved down from New York and they ain't never left. They don't plan on leaving either. They love this. This is part of their retirement, is living in this house, paying my cousin $600 rent. This is such a break from New York. Thank you, Lord. It's wonderful. Been there 10 years. Never had problems with the rent. Never late. Pays all the time. So, excuse me about that. All right. Dude, what? 212. Often, if not used wisely, it may get entrepreneurs stuck in the cycle of talk rather than productive. That's true. That's how these groups are. There's a couple groups out there, and people are like, well, I have this ideal. Look how pretty my website is. And I'll put up my ugly website, and they were like, oh, you need to do this. You need to pay somebody. I have like Gmail accounts. They're like, you need to stop using Gmail. People aren't going to work with you. I'm like, boo-boo. I've made $9,000 every month from my YouTube channel with my ugly website, with my Gmail account. Some of y'all are playing games. Ask people for the money. Go knock doors. Go do what you have to do. You're not keeping it 100. These shiny website folks drive me crazy. Stop. Black Knight Coding, thank you for that note about Navy League. Trending business. Can't give up. The good information so easy. Yeah. I deserve Charles Ogilvy. That's one of the scariest words. I deserve a hot Brazilian dude that makes money. I deserve it. That's ridiculous. And I know it's ridiculous as soon as I said it, but it's ridiculous, and people really do believe that. I think a lot of the hustlers porn, as Glendon calls it out here, is young 19 to 25-year-old dudes who are like, I deserve a hot model, and I don't know why I'm not getting these hot models. We got to do the stuff to get the hot models. But that's America, where we don't want to do the stuff to get the hot models. Priorities messed up. That's right, I'll tell her. I noticed that with my card. Oh, wow. Charles Ogilvy, I'm sure it has more to do with good business than racism. They're in the business to make money, not oppress people. Very true. Very true. Now, if a zip code has a history of non-payment, they're not going to make money in the market. That is true, Charles. I do believe that. But what's funny is the person that I'm talking about, me and the other person that live over there, they're Asian business owners. They're Asian dudes who own not one, but two restaurants. They're little ice cream shops. But they own two businesses. They make stack money. Now, Chalmers Soul has a great point. He has a thing talking about different levels of racism, but he has a really one. It's talked about 1B. It's like when you're a group of people and you don't really know much about them. Like if I know that street over there has had robberies and break-ins and the zip code don't have high income, I'm just going to assume over there ain't no money over there. And I ain't going to pick nobody up over there. I ain't going to do nothing. I remember I used to get Ubers from over there to go downtown and party, and people be like, it's so nice over here. It's so cleaned up. And I was like, oh yeah, I have a pool behind my house too. And I have this and I have this. It's completely remodeled inside. This house is worth $400,000. The one time the guy who picked me up was like, you're lying. this house is worth $400,000. I said, yeah, honey, go look it up on Zillow. Go look it up online. I was like, he's like, I wouldn't pay more than $150 for this neighborhood. I remember when this neighborhood was $150. I said, well, baby, the neighborhood's now $400,000. And then I told him about 4 houses in the street around me that sold for $450,000. And he literally was like disgusted. He was like, our parents used to have a house over here. We sold it. I'm like, that's sad. You sold it at the wrong time. So the key here is, again, owners win. But if you generalize a neighborhood, you generalize a group, your business is going to lose money because you're skipping over individuals by just assuming this. We don't make money over here. I'm done. So again, what was funny is he always would get these letters, pre-approval letters, and then he would send them in, and they'd be like, can you fax us your taxes? Fax them in. They sent him cards. He had like $100,000 American Express cards. It was not that bad. Predatory lending. Charles Ogilvie, stop being praying. You don't have to worry about predators. It's true. Debt is an emergency. We normalize it by living a life around minimum payments. The house is on fire, but you in it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how debt is. Like, when I talked to one of my friends, they're like, oh, I got $20,000 in student loans. I'm so mad. I'm like, homie, it's been 10 years since we left college. You could have paid that off a long time ago. And he looked at me like, how dare I? And I was like, bro, 20 grand? You could have made $2,000 a year payments. Break $2,000 down by 12 months. That's $150. You telling me all this popping bottles and going out every weekend, you don't got $150 to pay your student loans off? You've been letting them defer for 10 years? Oh no, baby, that's a mess. That's a mess. I was like, now that you got this new job, because they just got a brand new job that pays more, double what they were making before, I'm like, you need to take half your income and pay off all the student loan debt this year. They were offended. They were absolutely offended that I said that. And I'm like, all your years since college, you've been making 35. Now you're going to make 70. Well, he's making 65. But even after taxes and all that said, you're not going to take that and pay off that 20 grand student loan that you've been sitting on for 10 years? Bro, I can't. So anyway, little miss. I'm telling you, right? It's not the bank's problem your husband's locked up. That you giving us half a story, so we giving you information that may not even apply to you to help your situation, because you want to give us half a story. That crap makes me mad. Your next move, DHA Media and Marketing. Yes, accountability. Thank you, Flat Earth Ramsey. What's up with that? Support groups. Hallelujah. There's nothing better than the truth. That's right, Radiance Music. No excuse zone. Trending business. There's a song from California. Some little Bay Area kids talking about no flex zone. No flex zone. And my nephew saying, I'm like, what does that mean? So then I go back and look it up. No flex zone. It meant no bragging. We have become so soft in America that you can't tell somebody, you know what? I just got a new car. I just went on a vacation. I have a great life. You're bragging. You're bragging. No flex zone here. That's crazy to me. That's why these kids don't know nothing. Because you can't flex on them. You can't brag. And I think it's lack of exposure. This one girl got mad the other day. She says, every time I hear a kid say they want to be a rapper or an athlete, I get mad. And you know what's funny to me? The sad part is that's the only person they're seeing in their life that's successful. And I'm so very grateful that I grew up in a family where I could see cops that were successful. I could see a military woman that was successful. I could see a nurse, a dentist, dental hygienist. I could see my aunt that worked in the school system and eventually started teaching college classes at the community college. Because why? They all had assets. They all invested in real estate. And so many people were like, Erica, you don't understand. There's black people out here not making 100,000. I'm like, how, bro? I go to a church. It's a mixed church, but like everybody in there making 100K. It's a very well-to-do church. Half the people I meet in these meetup groups in Austin, most of the black guys I meet here in Austin, they're like tech nerds. And they making racks on racks on racks. Their Instagram is great. They're traveling all the time. So these stories of people not making this money, there's people with skill out here making money. It's not an anomaly. It's not a unicorn. Work in finance. Charles is in finance, I think. JD something, let them know in the comments. I don't know. But there's a lot of people who make good money. Oh man, little miss hit him in the low belly. She said, yes, they say babies are a blessing, but have no husband, no boyfriend, no job. Where they do that at? Where do they do that at? You know what I mean? There's a video I saw on McDonald's. It's a girl working for McDonald's, and she wanted them to pay her $15 an hour because she got a kid and the baby daddy or whatever went to jail. And I'm like, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that you were at McDonald's and think McDonald's needs to pay you $15 an hour. You need to go on down to the community college. You 19. Well, she was what, 21? She was 21. So I know people told her, don't get pregnant, go to school, better yourself. And this girl still got pregnant, working at McDonald's, living in subsidized housing. Honey, they told you, you hard-headed. See, there's a thing they used to say, they used to call you hard-headed, but people don't listen to that no more. They don't want to hear that. Somebody said credit warriors in the comments. I have no comment. It wasn't that group today. I didn't get in trouble with them today, but I do get in trouble with them a lot because people ask the same questions. They use their cell phone, which is a computer, and they go, I can't find anything. I can't find any answers. You found enough to scroll up and down. You can find answers. Use your phone. Marin Akia. We need stacks, business land, etc. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, C. Okay, thank you, little miss. Digital B, thank you. These shades are awesome. I love them. I had like 5 colors, red and all this other, but I've lost a bunch of them. Especially true in Atlanta. Things that depreciate. Yes, Charles. Things that depreciate. Like, a lot of people really, seriously, that's all they have is cars. And I didn't think that was true till I did, like, I've done so far maybe 900 phone calls at this point, I think, over the course of the 2 years now. Since I was on Dr. Boyce Watkins' show. But, like, a lot of y'all, if I talk to you, I go, where else do you put your money? And a lot of you New Yorkers, when you call me, you don't even have cars. So I'm like, what's going on up in New York? I know you get around on the train, but what else? Where do you put your money? Preach it. Okay, Sean Wright said, is it smart to grab a rental that has a HOA price of $300 a month? I don't know about that, Sean. What state is that in? Little miss, that's why you need a Facebook group. I do not. Facebook groups are hell. They're hell. Everybody I know that owns one, they're like, oh God, my phone rings all night and day. And also you need these admins that are like, the Nazis, I will control everything. And you're like, I ain't got time for that. CJ, yes, people want to be exonerated from their poor decisions. Yes. They really want you to say, it's okay. It's okay you made a bad decision. And I was going to upload a video yesterday, but I held it because my friend said, Tim Jackson was like, you got to stop wagging the finger, man. And I was like, being poor, there's 2 categories of being poor in America right now. You live somewhere where there's just no jobs and you're in a bad spot and you don't have training or something. I would be like, go to Job Corps or something. Or you're in a position where you don't like the jobs that are offered. And I have a lot of people that I've seen over the years. I don't associate with them anymore because their life ain't going nowhere. But there was a guy, he was always getting kicked out and losing his places and like getting evicted from places. And you're like, yo, bro, instead of being a cook at Chili's because you want to be a cook so bad, that was his dream to be a cook. I'm like, why don't you go be a truck driver or go get a trade and do something else for a year to get yourself financially straight? Man, my kids need me around. Your kids don't need you bouncing house to house because you don't even stay with their mom. You don't even see them that often because you work every weekend cooking. And look, there's money to be made in cooking. Look at Derek's Cooks. He makes a lot of money off those cookbooks. He makes him and Stovetop Kisses. She makes a lot of money. She's going to make a lot of money soon. I think she just shipped 1,000 books. Okay, those cookbooks make money. Don't get it twisted. But you also, it's a visual thing. It's Instagram. They're using Instagram. So if you want to be a cook and make real cook money, Anthony Bourdain money. Anthony Bourdain makes a lot of his money from his books. The show pays for sure, but he makes a lot of money from his books. Okay. No, Lady T, I can't even repeat that. That's so funny. Thank you, May. Drive that old Honda till the wheels fall off. Dude, there's still people on the side of the road, especially every tax return season where they're trying to sell an old Honda for $6,000. I'd be like, come on, bro, stop it. Or they're trying to sell it for $3,000. It cracks me up. What's the name of that channel? 10-4, yep, preach. Becky, look, Charles Ogilvie, house first, car later. It's all day. All day. Listen, if you just wait just a little bit and jump in that house, you can go get that car. But what happens is you're trying to cut yourself to death with the payment system. Like, I can afford this payment. No, if you can't buy the car cash, don't buy it. Straight up. Straight up. Unless you just, and many people are going to say, Erica, I had to do what I had to do, Erica. How dare you? Okay. I'm going to give y'all the grace. You do what you have to do, but now you have to really do what you have to do. And that means work whatever job you need, go DoorDash, go do what you got to do, and invest that money still. Because that's the only way your life is going to change, is the investment part. If two people are working a job and it only pays them, they're both teachers, but one teacher invests $500 a month or $200 a month every month for the next 10 years, who has a different life in 10 years? The teacher who invested. And people will say all the time, you don't understand, I don't make enough money. And I will challenge them to go do Acorn app, go do Mint, to track their income, or do Stash Invest. I'll challenge them. I go, just put it on auto, just let it take a little $1 a day after count, whatever, something simple. And I've had people go, man, I saved $800 this past month. Two people, was a spouse and her husband and her. I saved $800, he saved like $500 on autopilot. Now, how many times have you just taken $800 out of your check and go, I'm going to save this. I'm saving it. Not many. So, again. Big J Rebel, how can I get a house mortgage for $300 a month? Well, what that is they're talking about $55,000, $60,000 properties. They're not super expensive. The lady here in Houston that watched this channel, her duplex was, her townhouse was $55K as well. And I think she has a small one. I think hers is a condo, like a 1-bedroom. Hey, look at you, Gabriel. Listen, Gabriel, hit me up in the messages. Gabriel said he's purchasing an apartment complex. Would you be an investing with me? Hey, Charles Ogleby might be interested in that. You might want to send the message and let me know. Let me know the numbers, the figures, and the stats. And what state is it in? We want to be in a landlord-friendly state. Let's just say that. I don't try to be funny. I'm just trying to be real. Like, I'm talking to y'all on the camera like I would talk to my cousins or my mom. Like, this is hilarious to me. Except for the cussing. My mom would be like, Erica, enough. Honestly, I look in the Facebook credit groups to see what not to do. Little miss, there you go. Honey, I'll have people say, let me give y'all a good story. I've been holding it back, but I'm going to give it to you. There's a woman, and I'm pretty sure she's still headhunting for me because she about cussed me out. She had her story about a car. She had a car that she was test driving. Listen to this, y'all. This is good. She was test driving it, and she could test drive it for 3 days. She could take it off the dealership and come back in 3 days, decide. On day 2, it got in a wreck. And she's been charged with having to pay for this car. It got totaled. Now, everybody in the group was like, that's crazy, but you was test driving it. Where's your gap insurance? Where's this? Where's that? Here's the best part. Young woman, young lady, 23. We said, what happened? The insurance should have covered this. Well, my insurance won't cover it because I had a man driving. A man driving? But you were test driving the car. Okay, but I had a man driving it, and he didn't have no license, and he didn't have no insurance. Honey, did you just say you were test driving a car, brand new car, for 3 days, and you let somebody who didn't have a license and didn't have insurance drive your car? And not only did they drive your car, they wrecked your car. Yes, she did. It was, and this happened a year and a half ago, right? So she kept leaving out parts of the story that we needed. So it happened over a year and a half ago. We said, well, what happened? Why don't you just get him to pay it? He needs to pay it. She's like, well, we broke up and nobody can find him. How can you not find a man with no driver's license and no car and no insurance? He has to get rides. You should be able to find him at his mama's house. I can't. The stories just, when they tell you, you like, honey, just chalk that up to the game. You have just lost. Just pay. Like even the car dealership was even willing to get her down to 12 grand. Like, the car was worth 16. They were willing to do 12 grand. Her insurance company was like, well, you did get kind of injured, so maybe we'll pay 1,000. But like, chalk that up to the game, baby. You just gonna have to pay that. That's just gonna dog you forever, because you're gonna have to pay it because you decided to let some dusty Jerome with no license and no insurance drive your car. And when people checked her on that, she was like, well, I'm going to shut this comment down because you guys are not being helpful. You're judging me. I just need some help on how to get this off my credit so I can get a new car. Boo! You come to the group with half information. Then when we give you the real, you don't like the answer. Because I'm pretty sure your mama told you were stupid. I'm pretty sure your daddy told you were stupid too. Pretty sure your uncles and your cousins said, now, and you know better than letting that boy drive your car and you don't even know him like that. Y'all was dating and now he gone. And nobody can find him. I can't with these people. I don't know where they find these people at. All right, let me finish this up. I don't want to keep you out here all day. I apologize. I'm letting this go long. Pay for used cars with cash. House almost paid next. Multi-family apartment and triplex. Come on, family. Let's get these stacks. You can do it. Okay. Don't be encouraging that mess, CJ. Don't do it. Walter Hunter. Yes, it is real. Little Miss, do you want to win or do you want a new luxury car? Honey, they want a new luxury car. What you talking about? That's their win. Stunting on these people. We're stunting on y'all. Myrtle Charles, yes. I told you, yeah, broke as a joke. Yeah, yep. Money Pit. Like Jay-Z said in Dumbo. New York is terrible. My family went to New York in the wintertime as a group. Like we did our 20 people deep family tour and they went to Apollo. Then they went to go check on one of our cousins in the summer. They're like, ooh, it stink here. The trash is hot. Stink. It smell like pee on this side of town. He's like, oh, that's just on Fridays. I was like, New York, y'all gotta get better. That's you can't have your town, parts of your city smelling like trash and pee just on Fridays because the trash is coming. Okay, it's just like that didn't make sense when he said it. It was crazy. Okay, so you said finance manager for Nike. Look him up. His name is Mike Hunt, and he was so corrupt. What? What's happening over there? What happened? Oh, we got a troll. That's fine. Yep, we got a troll, y'all. Anyway, ignore the trolls. All right. Agreed everything you said. Thank you, Charles. Rich, hot Brazilian. Hey, they didn't even got to be rich. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but they had like 1,000 Cubans they dropped into Austin. When Obama was doing his thing, when they let the immigrants in or whatever, and they had like a lot of people come family deep, 12, 15 family members deep, and they were all driving for Uber and Lyft. It was crazy. And I had this guy pick me up, and he was a good-looking black guy. Most black guys, once I tell them I listen to country music and two-step and wear cowboy boots, they ain't trying to hear it. But he was nice. And then I realized he didn't really speak no English. So we were talking through Google Translator how to get me dropped off downtown Austin to go party with my friends. And I'm like, this is unreal. I was like, I felt scared for him a little bit because he was, the color of my shirt, he was very black, but he had beautiful long curly hair. And his English just wasn't proficient. So I was like, you gotta be careful. You gotta be real careful. But guess what? They had the hookup. They came to Austin and a Cuban guy worked at the car dealership and got everybody cars. Talk about that culture. Hook up. So, all right. Oh, yeah. Lala, I see them, but I'm like, what is up with this troll, man? Anytime y'all see a troll, click on their name, report them, let Google hit them up. Destin Miller, the whole tiny house thing to me, long term is just, it's a fad, you know what I mean? Like, I rather you get into a house that's 3-bedroom and you go, you know what? I lived here a year and it's too big and I'm going to rent it out and I'm going to move further into town to something smaller. I'd much rather you do that than go, I'm going to get in this tiny house and then 2 years later I got kids and nobody wants my tiny house. So, yeah, I see it. I should probably do that. I mean, it's only when it gets really crazy do the trolls come out cray. Little Miss, nobody wants to do what it takes to win. Oh, yeah. Flex zone. Where is this no flex zone? Kids are working at Taco Bell and buying 250 shoes and hoodies. What? Savage Heartbeat? Who is these? Okay, look at your nephew living in Austin, living the dream. Thank you for hitting the report button. Please do that. Just hit the report and block button for me because you are my moderators. Because I don't do these lives as much anymore, so I never made moderators because I thought, not that many people show up. During the Bernie Sanders, Savage Heart has, during the Bernie Sanders inequality, I apologize. There are plenty of those stories. People think that because they're not successful, that the world is unfair and they deserve something. And that's just, what's sad is that just means people train them wrong. You know, they just train them wrong. That's Sean Smith, you never gave me the answer. You never told me where you throw out a question and I have no clue what this is. Is it smart to grab a rental condo? The HOA is $300 a month. Hit me with what city and town it's in and what's the rent look like. You gotta hit me with info. Thomas Jackson, I'm 29, currently living in a burning house. Just landed 20-hour job looking to put these flames out. Woo, Thomas. Hats off to you. You should sell those shades with some catchphrase on the side because of product placement. You better hush and get out of my journal notebook. You better get out of my journal notebook of what I've been writing down. In Florida, Sean says. Little Miss, I love when you wag your finger. People need to hear the truth. You seem to be the only one telling it like it is. Here's the thing. There's plenty of people in the marketplace, and I'll be careful here because I'm going to be careful, telling you what you want to hear. If you're a man, let me tell you about how you can get all these women. If you're a woman, let me tell you about how you can get all these men. If you're this, let me tell you how to do this. But at the end of the day, self-improvement comes from self-improvement. Actually, you achieving something. And a lot of times people will say, well, I'm not getting the job of my dreams. But they're not using job recruiters. They're not using all the different techniques they could to get there. And then they're not even working extra so they can at least have extra money in their pocket to give them a future choice. Every time I figured out what I needed to do, left turn or right turn, it's when I was working more. When I'm writing one blog, all of a sudden 5 other blog ideas come in and I try to put them all down and pre-time out the blog, which I've been slacking on that. I apologize. But it comes from diving in. People don't dive in. Okay, your next move, D-Haw Media Marketing. 90% of those people in those groups are scammers or stunters. They truly aren't trying to start a business. Entrepreneurship became a trend, and most want last, especially when financing runs out. Oh, honey, if you guys watch Gary Vee talks about, even if money is tightening for people who don't have a game plan. Snapchat's cool. All these gadgets and different apps are cool, but you got to tell people how do y'all make money. If Facebook ain't never lied to you, Facebook make money from ads, okay? Like, they make money selling your information and they make money from ads. Like, they ain't never lied to you. So it's like each company has to have a way for it to make money. When people call me and say, I have this company idea and it ain't made money ever, I'm like, whoa, you need to tell me the 3 things this business does to make money. And it needs to make some money next month. Or it's not a business, it's a hobby. And there's nothing wrong with having hobbies, but don't call them businesses. Killmonger Finance. I could put that on some shades, but I don't want to get sued. Listen, anybody who has a t-shirt idea, listen, I'm getting a lot of emails and people say they have t-shirt companies and they have t-shirt ideals or they have some design for me. I appreciate it. Send that to me. You can put anything you want on Killmonger Finance, whatever. There's a lot of loopholes when it comes to t-shirt designs and stuff being trademarked. As long as you don't exactly draw Killmonger to a T and have him on a shirt, I won't be in trouble. So if you have a deal and you have designs, send them to me. If you're a t-shirt maker, and I know I've been getting a lot of different messages, but send them to me in a way I can get them. T-shirt maker who's been trying to get my attention about, you could do t-shirts for me. Hit me up, put it in the comments. If you got a t-shirt company, do that. All right, let me go through. I'm trying to wrap it up. I'm sorry. We're getting almost to the hour. They say they don't make enough money to save, but they have Starbucks every day, get takeout every weekend. Honey, that's a trap, it's a trap. It's easy to get in I remember saying, well, I'm a single woman, and just, if I'm going to cook dinner, that's so hard, and I might as well just go eat out with my friends. I know a lot of people who do that, and I used to be like that for a year, but then I realized if I just buy smaller pans, I can cook the same amount of food and just have it stored up, right? Like when I go buy steaks, I can just buy 2 steaks, 2 nice steaks, cook the 2 steaks, save the next one for the next day. I mean, a lot of people overcomplicate it. They go, oh, Erica, it's so hard when you're cooking for one. Is it? Just cook for 2 people and then cut it in half and save it for the next day. I don't know. Angie says, this is so helpful. It's big time gentrified in Detroit now. Hey, there's some people I know investing in Detroit. Aisha Denton, if you see her on my channel, and Mr. Todd Capital. So, check it out. Oh, see, I'm sorry. Get that money though. Tiny homes are a good investment. Okay, J Rebel, they are and they aren't. Let me give you an example. Out here in Texas, we have a lot of RV parks. And if you told me now what I knew now after seeing all these RV parks, I would have bought 5 acres and turned an RV park in like yesterday. Because now they're trying to outlaw some areas from having them. The land is important. If you have a tiny house, where is it going to go? And are you selling it for them to take it with them, right? Okay, if you're keeping it, if you're keeping the house, like a lot of people do. Okay, y'all, the phone's overheating a little bit, so I might have to run. But I'm going to finish these out. I'm going to read them out real quick. Good Lord. Oh, really? We're blowing it up. Hold on. Okay. I'm finishing. This is crazy. Hold on. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I will. Little Miss, I don't know if it was her baby daddy, but that's the thing. She kept giving half these stories, like where she would give part of information. And that's the classic thing I see every day in these stories, and they just wear me out. You know what I mean? She be fine. Why do these people find these people? Do you know what I'm saying? Hello, I'm a 1099 worker. I'm working as a subcontractor. Where can I have some sites or books or audio books you can recommend for me to help me find more subcontracting work? Well, go find people who are doing big work. I don't know what you do. Sound like a cleaner or restorer. Go find people who are doing big. If you see a company that's busy all the time or posting on, honestly, you want me to tell you one? Home Advisor. But that means you got to spend money to make money. Or put out a bunch of bandit signs. That's what we did at the beginning with the painting company. And it worked great. We did a little bit of Home Advisor, a little bit of bandit signs. And by the time we started rolling, because you got to think about it, one house a week, $3,000, painting the whole entire house. We did 4 jobs a week. When we were there, we tell people, hey, we also have a fencing part of our team. We also can do this. You got to advertise while you're there, but you also stop by some of these construction sites. Stop by some of these small house flippers. Check out who you can talk to. Okay, Little Miss, she just has a hard life lesson. Dusty Jerome's is a real word. I made it. Is ATL landlord friendly? People hit me up in the comments if ATL is landlord friendly, because Paula Pants says it is, but y'all let me know. Thomas Jackson, listen to me. I have thought about buying some radio talk time on AM radio. You don't even know, but we ain't gonna do it in 3 hours. These real stories are laughable. Dude, if I could do screenshots, I would have some fun. But I don't want to get in trouble from these groups screenshotting the information. I could just do, you know that guy that makes fun of people's stuff when they put on screenshots? I could do that all day, but I'm not going to do it. Ooh, Raphael in New York. You don't understand them luxury cars. There you go, Terrell Nail. Get that money. Florida, Sean Rentals in Florida. Okay. Thomas, I listened to this. She said, okay, I try to be. Oh, I don't have student loan debt. I'm scared, but my mortgages will be okay. That's a good number, boo. Ooh, look at that. Big J Rebel. Thank you. Dude making extra $600, $700 a week. Listen, I told y'all there was a kid here. I really want to interview him. Met him at church, but I don't think he's going to do it. He made $6,000 3 months in a row. That's how he pretty much got out of his poverty story. He basically was living with a girl, which, you know, we teach the young people if you can. He's living with a girl. Name wasn't on the lease. She put him out. He had his car and his dog. And I said, man, what happened? He had to give the dog to some neighbors, clean the car out, did Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, all that stuff. He was just doing it all day and night. And he made almost $7,000 for 3 months in a row. And while he was staying at the weekly stay, got him a nice apartment, nice stuff, new furniture, started all over, good to go. But people don't realize, if you want to get out of your situation, sometimes you got to put in the work. You got to put in hours. What? Bought my house 4 years ago, and now my house is worth $25,000 more than what I paid for it. Should I refinance? I'm not, if you ain't got a plan. Be careful on that. I ain't gonna try to. Thank you, Thomas Jackson. I appreciate it. Hey, Malika. Melita said her and her man on Greyhound listening to this. Hey, I appreciate it. Camry says, can you still find $50,000 houses in Fort Bragg? Yes, you can. Listen, y'all, anytime I'm naming off something or a city or a place, go on realtor.com. That's realtor, Tor.com. I know some of y'all say I can't talk right, but whatever. Go on realtor.com. Go type in your area. Type in the max is 50K. And then expand the radius to 20 miles. So you can get a full view of that city and what's the opportunity. And if you guys could, hit the like button if you can. If you can't, let me know. When your young co-workers call out of work, take them hours. Yeah, stack yourself. Okay, listen, Greyhound Wi-Fi. I didn't even know the Greyhound had Wi-Fi. Look at me, learning something new every day. Thank you. That's right. Do it. Melita's going to do a magical millennial show, y'all. Go check her out. South Atlanta is landlord friendly. Can you still find? Okay. All right, everybody. It's been an hour and 6 minutes. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. Plus, I gotta go. I got errands to do. I'm meeting somebody for late lunch. They better be there or get chopped in the neck. Hey, hit that like button if you can. Everybody, if you can, before I leave, hit that like button. Today, I didn't really think of a special. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I didn't think of a special at all. So I guess, what can I do for a special this week? Let's do, oh gosh, balloons. Yeah, got my book, thanks. I joined a financial group, well-known person, got my little butt off right the same day. Yeah, it's addictive. It's addictive to be in these groups and talking. Where can I find a great life insurance? I guess today's special today, if you guys want to talk to me for an hour next week, it'll be $50. We'll do the half off special. That's what we'll do. And you just put messages in here or messages after video renders, and we can hit you up. And it'll be in the description once I let this render. It'll be in the description where you can hit me up. That's what we'll do that this week. And the tax lien course will be $99 for the next 48 hours. Hit me up in the comments if you need any of those specials. That way we get you in there, because it's springtime. If y'all not about getting that money stacking, when you get on the phone with me, have your questions written down. Number 2, get that tax lien. Go get it. Go get your money. It's a great time. Great opportunity to be investing. Everybody, this is Erica, your girl, Classy Climb Blog. Hey, if you got cool t-shirt ideals, you got cool drawings, man, send them to me. I love them. Talk to you guys later. Happy Freedom Friday. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your comments. Later.